Welcome back, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero and pop culture, and that's, of course, movies, TV shows, video games, and we talk about news and we speculate, all that good and nerdy stuff. I am Ole Poupée, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. Ladi, how's it going this evening?
Man, it's going great. Can't wait. Of course, we celebrate the 4th of July coming up soon. And, it's a good time to have a little bit of day off and talk about some news.
Yeah. I would just say I'm not feeling very festive this year. So, and also I have to work, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is a holiday weekend, so you guys get it in however you can. And if you're from around the world, then you know what? Just have a good old day today. But we are going to talk about some superhero stuff. We got a ton of news. And also, this is Thor week, yo. This week is actually very, very big. It's been huge for superheroic stuff lately. But we got Thor coming out later this week. We have The Boys season finale is later this week. And another Miss Marvel. So just all around good stuff for superhero fans. So, and we're gonna later on talk about the Boys, the most recent one, the penultimate episode of this season 3. Before we get to that, we got some news. Ladi, a ton of it, like I said. We're gonna talk about some rumors. There's several about Loki season 2, a superhero team that could show up there. Another team on the supernatural side that Marvel seems to be working on. And could Chris Hemsworth show up in a certain Merc with a Mouth's new movie? We're going to talk about, for a feature I've been wanting to show on this show. Now we're definitely going to do it this week. The trash take of the week. Someone has got a stupid thing to say about Homelander. We're also going to talk about the Avengers Quantum Encounter footage that was shown on the internet recently. Taron Egerton, could he be coming to Marvel? Is Superman going to be in Black Adam? We got some promotional art featuring the bad guys in the new Black Panther movie that's coming out later this year. We will also review and discuss the Harley Quinn season 3 trailer. And we got to talk about it. More Ezra Miller shit. So strap in, guys. This is a ton of stuff to talk about before we get to the main topic. So, Ladi, are you geared up? Have you got all your drink ready so you can talk at length about these things?
Oh yeah, I just finished replying to one of the Homelander story on Twitter.
My God,
I have to say something. I gotta put it there.
I cannot wait. We're getting to that. But all right, you guys. Let's start with the rumors. We're just real quick. We don't have any real information about this, but according to rando Twitter, at some Twitter account, supposedly Loki season 2 is going to have the Squadron Supreme in it. If you don't know, Squadron Supreme is essentially the Marvel's version of the Justice League. Literally their version of the Justice League. And also, I saw that this is probably going to be a period piece set somewhere in the 70s-ish. So we're talking about an alternate Earth where there was superheroes before the current MCU's version, before Iron Man, and they were in fact like the Justice League. Ladi, I assume you know something. You know something about the Squadron Supreme. Honestly, I was surprised. Were you surprised to hear about this? And how are you looking forward to, if this is true? Are you looking forward to seeing this?
Yes. I mean, I know a little bit about the Squadron Supreme. I'm not super like into who they are, but listen, I mean, this is Loki. We just saw the Illuminati. Why not throw all of them in there? Go ahead. Just throw all the different secret agencies or superhero agencies throughout the universe. And now you can do it without having this crazy story of all these people in the same universe. You have a multiverse. You can just say they're the Avengers of this multiverse. You know what I mean? Like the Illuminati is the Avengers of that universe. They can say the Squadron Supreme are the Avengers of this universe. Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you just throw them all in there and just have Loki just tell this guy he's a cheap version of Captain America or something. You know what I mean? Or he says something else funny. But yes, give it to me.
I think it's instructive and interesting to know because there's so many characters in Marvel, and the multiverse kind of gives you an opportunity to introduce some of the goofier or maybe the ones that won't quite work in the MCU, or you just don't have room in the MCU at the moment. And so Loki being multiversal allows you to sort of, kind of like in Doctor Strange too, see other versions of characters or characters you may not have would get mainstream. So I'm actually really excited. The Squadron Supreme is very interesting, and they're usually evil versions of the Justice League. So I think they could do a lot of interesting stuff with it. And and if I had to say anything, they probably are Kang's hitters. More than likely, they're Kang's hitters. We'll see. I hope we get some real confirmation of this, and we'll talk about it if we do. Speaking of a team that could be showing up in the MCU, we were talking about how the Supernatural has gotten a real boost in the MCU lately. So would it surprise you to know, at least according to this rumor, that the Midnight Suns are in development? Now, literally, that's all that this little tweet said, that it's in development. But given that little bit of information, is it a surprise at all if this is true, Ladi? Like, given what we've seen so far?
Can I say something real quick? Does that mean my man Khonshu is going to show up again? Does this mean... As I know Moon Knight's going to be in this, but that's not enough for me. I want to see Khonshu talking shit to everybody, because I hope the Midnight Suns, because of course they're a group, they all get brought together because of Khonshu. Khonshu's like, I brought all of you guys together because you are the only people that can save this world from the dark evils of the night. I will be like, yes!
It's going to be like it's like Gargoyle. It's like the MCU version of Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yes. I would love that. And Khonshu's like their boss, and he's talking absolute shit. Instead of like encouraging them, he talks shit. He's like, you look like shit. Like when they walk in and they get beat up by somebody. Like, oh, yes, give me all of this.
Yeah, I think if they have to do not a Dark Avengers in terms of like the evil, the bad guys pretend to be Avengers, but like the kind of like the DC version of the Justice League Dark. That's what the Midnight Suns will be, in my opinion. So I think they've got the building blocks for that. The start of the Midnight Suns already. So please make this happen. Like, why not? Yes. Especially because we know Werewolf by Night is coming. So if we get Werewolf by Night, this is kind of a no-brainer. We'll see. If this is true, we'll let you guys know in the future. Final rumor. This is just something I just sort of came by real last minute today. I thought it might be fun. What would be better than Thor? How about Thor teaming up with the Merc with a mouth, with Deadpool? Because, Chris Hemsworth, Ryan Reynolds, they're good friends. They've been in a movie recently with each other. And also, let's just be honest here. Chris Hemsworth is a hell of a comedic actor. I mean, not just in Thor, he's hilarious, but in other things, he's really funny. And Ryan Reynolds, obviously, he's super funny as Deadpool. And I cannot think of, I mean, when they said this, I was like, this is genius. Okay, whoever, if they swing this is genius. Ladi, I know this is a stupid question. Do you want to see this?
I'm trying to think how this will start off. How will their meeting first happen? I'm just trying to think of what Deadpool would say, because I know he'll say something first, and it's going to be.
I've got an idea.
Go ahead, shoot it.
Do
Shoot it.
you remember in Endgame where we saw basically Thor was sort of running around in the background of Thor: The Dark World? Like
Yeah.
his regular self was there, but he's running around in the background. What if in the background of all of that, Deadpool's running around too? And you just sort of see
Mhm.
Deadpool inserted into the, like, literally, you know for sure he's not there, but he's in the editing room at Marvel, and he's pasting himself into the scenes. Oh, which also reminds me, I saw something hilarious on Twitter about Deadpool, because people have been asking, like, how are they going to get the mutants in there? And obviously, if Deadpool 3 is underway, they're going to figure out how to get mutants into there and make it make sense. But they were saying literally that they're like, here's the way you put the mutants into the MCU. You have Deadpool sitting at a laptop, and he just has this like a folder that says MCU, and he has a Disney and then MCU, and then he has a folder and another one that says Fox X-Men. He just drags and drops the X-Men into the MCU, and he's like, that's it. That's the entire explanation, is that Deadpool put the X-Men into the MCU just by dragging and dropping them. And I was like, you know what? I would accept that. Because at this point, isn't he's fourth wall breaking to the point that he would do something stupid like that. Like, he would just, like, no explanation. Now we just have mutants because Deadpool. I don't know. But on the real, Deadpool, and that's what a great combo. You honestly don't even need a real explanation for it. It just is. He's just there. Like, oh
Yes.
I think it's awesome. If it's true, it'll be great.
I love it.
Yeah. So we don't know. It could be true. Could be bullshit. We'll find out in the future.
Scrawny red man.
So let's talk about. I've been wanting to do. This is a feature I've been wanting to add to the show for probably at least a month now. But I finally got a good one. It's called the trash take of the week. Because social media, nerds on the internet, someone out there is saying the stupidest damn thing about superhero media. So here's the dumbest one I saw all week. Ladi. So this is courtesy of Binge Watch This, at Binge Watch This, which is I guess a website or whatever. And it's a poster of Endgame, and it's got Homelander there, and it says "What if?" And Homelander's just looking at them, and the replies are like it's essentially saying, he could take them on all by himself. To which I say, "Woo, you all are smoking some bullshit." Because no, hell, fuck no. Did y'all not just watch the episode of Herogasm where he almost got done in by a dude with similar powers to him, another guy that's a souped up Captain America, and a dude that can fucking teleport, and he's gonna beat Thanos, who's beating the shit out of Thor? Are y'all what are y'all smoking?
Listen,
oh my god, what are y'all smoking?
The amount of Homelander dick sucking that I have dealt with from people for the past couple of weeks have been. This tweet is a microcosm of the amount of Homelander absolute orgasms that I have seen people have and talk to me about. That poster should be what if, that picture of it shows that white girl on the couch and the four black dudes behind them, like they're about to gangbang them. That should be the picture. Homelander's face should be on that white girl, and the four dudes should be Thanos and his goons, because one of Thanos' goons will fuck up him. Man, come on. Homelander is at best. This is literally what I put in. This is what I literally replied back to the tweet. This is what I put. I put Homelander is town level at best, maybe large city level. Homelander can destroy a city. Yes, in one go. But he's not really that much of a threat when you really think about it. Because if every hero goes up against him, what can they do? What
Yeah.
can he do? And then I said Thanos survived the full power of Stormbringer, which went through the concentrated force of the 6 Infinity Stones, which supposed to have infinite power, each and every single one of them. 6 of them.
Yep.
If Thor hit that, if Thor just pimp slapped them with Stormbringer, I mean, fucking Homelander will turn to dust. Homelander, y'all need to let go. Homelander is nothing, man. He's Wolverine could kill Homelander. Literally.
Hold on. I don't know if I wouldn't say that.
Nah, his adamantium bones will cut. Remember, his adamantium bones will cut through Homelander.
I wouldn't take that bet, but I would say that this is just a trash. This is a trash take. This is stupid. And you're right. There's a shit ton of Homelander dick riding. Like, and not like seriously, like they're like, no, he's misunderstood. There ain't shit misunderstood about him. He's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Like, and I don't want you in my sphere if you think that he has anything good about this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Homelander is a
y'all are straight up like Todd and y'all dick riding him like Todd and the fucking boys, and you saw what happened to that motherfucker.
Exactly.
You need to be pimp slapped. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, like I remember, I had to stop one of my friends from saying. He said, "Man, I feel sorry for Homelander." Why? So you feel sorry for a rapist? Hell no.
I mean, look, there are certainly he's definitely been badly treated. I'm not. This is the thing. I'm not saying he wasn't. He's a test tube baby that was raised horribly. Doesn't excuse being the piece of shit he is. And all this Homelander dick riding is
ridiculous.
It is like scary in some ways. Like, you motherfuckers are serious. Like, y'all may as well. I mean, he's Superman Hitler. What the fuck else do you need to know? Like, I don't understand why we gotta spell this out in crayon for you morons. But I guess we do. He's a terrible person. So trash take. And actually, since we're on trash take, can we talk about, I was mentioning this before, I want to talk about this other social media post we're talking about where the person posting it was talking about how these other fake Captain Americas are really, or what if they really, they were the Captain America that represented America as it is now. And so it was all Soldier Boy, Peacemaker, John Walker, and the Comedian. Which is, by the way, that's not a trash take. That's a great take. What's the trash take is the dick riding that has going on in that thread of these various people. And I will personally say that I defended John Walker and Peacemaker, because the difference between John Walker and Peacemaker and the Comedian and Soldier Boy is that they both recognize that they have been shitty, and they want to be better than they were before. John Walker is a villain, but he's also a reforming villain, right? And Peacemaker is a villain, but he's also a reformer. He wants to be better. He recognizes where he fucked up, and he's trying to be better than that. And the other two are unredeemable pieces of shit. And presumably Soldier Boy is probably going to die. And Comedian did, and good, right? But I'm telling you, the number of people that are sitting up there, oh, John Walker didn't do anything wrong. Oh, really? He didn't do anything wrong. That's this is where we are in this country and in the world right now. Is people they see what's clearly the bad guy, and they're like, nah, but he's really good because he represents me. You have a problem if you think John Walker represents you, at least, and you're defending his bullshit. Something's wrong with you, right? I feel like I'm not off base here. Why are you the dude literally fucking murdered a guy on camera, and you're like, he's a terrorist? The motherfucker had given up. So that's what we're doing now
Mm-hmm.
because you label someone with the label of terrorist. It's okay to murder them in the street. That's what we do now. That's what you want America to represent. If that's the
Exactly.
case, fuck you. Like, stop voting. Please stop voting because you are gonna drag. We're already circling the fucking drain. Why do you need? Are you trying to accelerate it with that bullshit? Man, come on. Get
Especially a guy, especially the person that he killed didn't really. He's not. They were not the person that did anything harmful. You
well,
know what I
I'll
mean?
say this. What if he did kill your friend? This guy literally is defenseless, has given up. He said, I stop. And so you think because he killed your friend, it's all good. They're like, he murdered his friend. I don't give a fuck. This guy's supposed to be Captain America. He's supposed to be that guy. Captain
Hmm.
Steve Rogers, if he had killed Sam Wilson right then and there, Steve Rogers wouldn't have killed that guy
Yeah.
because he's an actual hero, and John Walker wants to be that guy, and he ain't that guy. Not yet. I'm not saying he can't be, which is why I defended him, but I don't defend what he did. And like this motherfucker's doing this online, it is like troublesome because they are serious. They're they are seeing the subtext and all it like the clear message that's being, and they're getting the wrong message, and it's like I'm like, ugh, you guys, why are we sharing the same fucking space? Ugh, guys are gross. So you guys be better. But yeah, shout out to that. That's blue. God, it says Snyder Reeves cultist. Oh my God, let's get out of here. Anywho, those are the trash take and also a good take this week. So moving on to some news. We had some footage from these Disney cruises. This is non-canon. This is not MCU canon, but it's just some fun stuff. You can kind of see some screenshots or whatever where to talk about where Ant-Man, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, decides he wants to take a moment to address a certain fan theory about Thanos and about why, in particular, he didn't get small and then fly up into Thanos' butt and then expand and kill him. Which let me just say, I'm always
The
saying,
picture they're using.
yeah, I'm always saying that the MCU, that the Marvel people, they're the smoothest criminals. They literally were just like, we know this meme, let's talk about it. But he doesn't get to actually say it because Hope stops him from saying it, from talking about it. But I love that that's actually a thing that they're like, let's put it out there and we'll talk about it, real in a real cute sort of way. On the same cruise, you also got to see not Miss Captain Marvel shows up. Also, the new Captain America, Sam Wilson, and he shares the screen with Aman Vellani's Miss Marvel. And let me just tell you, this sounded fun. Like they were, I guess it was in a dining room, and it's just something they have, planned on the wall or something like that. Kind of like when you go to like a Disney park or whatever, and they have the little bits to kind of entertain you while you're waiting for a ride. And I just kind of love the fact that they're going and making an experience like this where you can really be like, oh, cool, it's an Avengers thing. I don't know, Ladi. I know you're seeing the screenshots and whatever. What do you think about this? It's canon that Paul, or not canon, but at least it's sort of addressed. Paul Rudd said, it's gross, and also there's certain things about it wouldn't work.
The photo. Because the memes that came out where they changed Thanos' voice to Patrick's voice when he was yelling. They just going through my head. Oh,
I kind of
first
love
of all,
it.
the MCU is not the boys. Let's just get that out here. Like, people, the MCU is not the boys. We don't got this tiny man going up a man's penis or someone's ass crack and exploding them. That's not going to happen in a PG-13 movie, guys. Please, just use, like, the thing that I think people need to understand, that sometimes you have to understand there is writing that you just cannot have happen in a story. You know, like I see people that go like, "Oh, why did this not happen in this game?" Because it is physically impossible to do that in games right now. Oh, why hasn't this happened in this anime? Because guys, the anime is a PG-13 anime. If you want to watch that, go watch D Gray Man or something, or Berserk. If you want to watch a man explode another man, go watch The Boys episode 1, because you'll see a man explode out of a man's penis. Is that what you want to see? It's just, come on, man. Let's get over that. But
I,
besides
I
that,
just
that
love
is kind of cool.
I just love the fact that they just went ahead and said something about it. I mean, in a fun little way. It's
Yeah, because memes are starting to, like, I think a lot of companies need to understand memes are becoming are it's a big part of pop culture now, and a lot of these companies ignore them now, but you're starting to see companies are starting to make memes canon, because I mean it shows that you pay attention to your fans.
right.
You know, take some notes. Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, again, the Marvel guys, they're smart. Disney, they're smart, and I expect to see more of this in the future. We're going to see a lot of cross media pollination. They're already talking. You know, they're already building the Avengers. They built the Avengers campus. I'm sure they're going to figure out some other way to kind of, you know, really give people a little more in hands-on interactive stuff. So I think it's really cool. So if we see any more cool stuff from that, we'll let you guys know. Continuing on the Marvel train, look, have been trying to fan cast forever about the X Men. One name that keeps coming up to play Wolverine is Taron Egerton, who you guys should know. I mean, he played Elton John in Rocket Man. He was Eggsy in the Kingsman. He's a really good actor. Like for real, he's a good actor. And so we heard from him this last week that he has in fact met with Marvel to see about, you know, a potential role, and he even says, name drops Wolverine. He's like, I would love the opportunity, but you know, it's really closely tied to Hugh Jackman, who is, you know, did such a great job and everything on that. So it's out there in the ether. He's talked to Marvel. He would like to be Wolverine if possible, and you know, I've heard people be like, oh, I don't want this. Why would you? Why would you want him for that? And I'm like, because the motherfucker can act. Like on the real, dude is great, and I mean, he could play the role if he could play a younger version of it. Lottie. So this is all out in the open, and he mentioned it. What are your thoughts about Taron Egerton? You know, not just meeting
Yeah,
Marvel, but potentially being Wolverine if that comes to pass.
I'm trying to see a picture of him,
Oh, Taron
like
Egerton.
actual photo. Like I'm actually trying to see actual photo. I mean, I think people get so caught up with the fact that a lot of these men are beardless,
Oh, and I can
but I'm
tell you,
pretty
he
sure.
could put a beard on it. Also,
Yeah, that's what,
there's thing called makeup. Come on, people. Like y'all,
yeah,
come on. Like get it. Come on, people.
yeah.
But I mean, I know you've seen the first Kingsman, and he
No,
was.
actually,
You
I
haven't
have
seen
not.
Kingsman? You know what? How dare you? W- How I don't even know what to say to you right now. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think you've seen Rocket Man. Ugh,
I
no,
don't think I've seen any movie with him in it.
well, I mean, trust me when I say he's really good. He can get into like you wouldn't think he could be Elton John, but no, he's great in that movie. But also, I mean, like, look, his stature is probably more as much closer to that of what we consider to be Wolverine. He can bulk up, as far as I can tell. Um, he just have to not use his English accent, but that's fine.
Hmm.
So, uh, I would be happy I'd be happy if he played anybody. Hell, if he wanted to be Scott Summers, that's cool. If he wanted to be Mr. Fantastic, I would give it a chance. It's just about having talent. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you, that's one thing about Kevin Feige. If there's anybody that's got any kind of real talent and desire to be in the MCU, you can bet your ass he's talked to them. You know, the, Taron Egerton, he's not an up and comer, but he's definitely I think he could really fit into a franchise. So we shall see if anything comes of this. We'll let you guys know. Um, we got Black Adam. We're looking forward to in a few months. Can you believe it? A few months. We're going to get to see The Rock in Black Adam. But he recently teased on social media that a certain superhero with an S on his chest may be making an appearance, maybe making a cameo into Black Adam. And he's been talking about the balance of power in the DC universe is about to change, and maybe a certain son of Krypton might have something to say about that. Ladi, do you think this is likely? And the better question is, will it be Henry
It better fucking be.
that suits up to look The Rock in the eye and give him his own people's eyebrow?
It better be Henry Cavill. It better be. This we were made for this. This was made for this. He was made for this moment. Henry Cavill and The Rock meeting up. The most manliest energy in a movie in one scene. The screen might explode because it won't be able to handle all of that testosterone all at once. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, these are the two symbols of like, what do you call it? Like muscular men in like movies nowadays, in TV shows. And oh, I would love it to be Henry Cavill. And I think if I had to guess, it's going to be an after credit scene, Superman showing up.
You're right. Well, I mean, he did
And
show up in Shazam, even though we didn't see his face,
fuck him.
which is to this day is still ridiculous.
Yes.
I still think that's the stupid. Like, what was the point? And that's just I think it's a function of the fact that DC's, upper brass had decided on moving away from Henry Cavill for some dumbass reason. But
doesn't like the new people want him back?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe we'll get lucky, and maybe they're just like, nah, we're bringing Henry back because there's zero reason why they didn't stick with him. It was just dumb. So.
Yeah, I'm happy that Discovery bought them out because whoever's the head of it's probably looking at this like, what the fuck, guys? Get the fuck out of here. We'll bring them back. But get out of here.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that this is true. So if there is a cameo, by God, better be. I'll say this much. That's a good signal that they are actually about to pull the trigger on a new Superman. Like, I've heard some rumors about, the Superman projects that are in the works now, but if Henry Cavill shows up as Superman in Black Adam, you can pretty much say they're going to make another Superman with him. So let's hope. When we will see, we'll let you guys know if we get any more information. We got some promo art for Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. There's been rumors about, what's it going to be about. In particular, who's going to be the bad guy? Who are they going to be facing off against? And the rumor was Namor. And, we mentioned an actor, I think it was a Mexican actor that was cast in it. And so we saw, this is promo art for this, that shows Shuri and Okoye, but also features a villain called Atuma, who is an Atlantean villain, and he's blue skin and everything. And we see Namor. He's got a name and everything. We see Namor. And you can tell these are all kind of taken or drawn from real people, right? So you see Namor, and and you also see Riri Williams, and you see Namora, who's also a blue-skinned Atlantean. So, okay, we knew Riri, we knew Shuri and Okoye. Fine. Let's talk about the other ones. Well, Namor's going to be last. Let's talk about Atuma, who, let me just say, they first of all, it's all Aztec, right? Mayan Aztec motifs for their armor, for their, for what they're wearing, their boots and everything. Even though they're so this is the idea that Atlantis, of course, was an island nation off of the coast of the Americas that was, subsumed by a cataclysm and went underwater. And in both DC and Marvel, the Atlanteans ended up being fish people, turning into fish people because reasons. And so if you kind of zoom in on this picture, like in the he's a blue-skinned Atlantean, and he's wearing a breathing mask over his mouth to kind of signal that the blue-skinned Atlanteans, they can't breathe air, versus Namor, who doesn't have to wear those things. Atuma looks awesome. He's got this awesome looking obsidian spear. He's obviously got some headdress made of like bones and stuff like that. It's a very much like, like I said, Aztec sort of situation. And then Namor, he looks like he does in the comics, except again, it's more Aztec. He's gold bands and everything like that. His trunks they look more like green. They're not like scaly, but more green and stuff. He's wearing like lapis lazuli for a collar. He's got like piercing in his ears and his nose. And then Namora, she again reflects that kind of like Mayan Aztec situation. She's got a feather headdress, feathered out. She looks sort of like she could be an avatar. So, all right, Ladi, I've been talking a lot about just sort of explaining what this looks like. What are your thoughts about this? We're finally seeing the Atlanteans.
They look cool. They look very cool. And part of me is thinking back to the part of like the game God of War. Because in God of War, it shows how Atlantis suck and Kratos is the one who sunk.
Wow.
Kratos is the one who's sucking. But besides that, yeah, I really like the Shuri and always forget her name.
Okoye.
Shuri and Okoye picture. That's really my favorite. Namor over here flexing like he's jumping up in the air.
Oh, and I wish I could find the one for you. There's another that shows a little more of him, and it shows him with his, because in the comics he's got wings on his feet, like on his ankles, and he has boots that have the wings on them, which I think suggests maybe he can fly like he can in the comics. I mean, I'm telling you, he looks fucking badass. Like I cannot wait to see this in live, because these are drawings and they're really nice looking drawings. I want to see the live action pictures of him, because I'm telling you, I think this is going to be kind of epic. Atlantis versus Wakanda, shit, it's about to go down. This looks so cool. But yeah, so now that you see this, you see Namor. I mean, how is this? Is this up in your excitement for this movie?
Yeah, I want to see it. I just wish Black Panther was still in the story, but unfortunately he's not. So I'll still watch it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. So we'll let you guys know. Hopefully we'll see some live action pictures soon, and we'll get back to that. I'm gonna flip these around. We're gonna talk about Ezra Miller first, because I want to end the news on a cool note. So let's talk about Ezra Miller real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the ongoing saga of Ezra Miller fumbling the bag and being shitty, actually. Like, I keep saying Ezra Miller needs some help, right? I mean, I feel that's pretty correct. And some people like Ezra Miller needs to be stopped. They might be correct too. This guy's been awesome. So I've been on some shit. Um, we saw some further information about when Ezra choked and slammed a woman in Iceland and what that was all about, right? How they were kind of
Hmm.
super belligerent and going off and everything. And also, while they were in Iceland and staying at a person's place, went from being rude in the house, smoking in their house, to just like ranting and raving and being physically intimidating and having to, the police called on them to leave the person's house. Uh, and of course, there's all the other. We're not even going to go into other allegations, but apparently, in Germany, also it was kind of acting out and whatever. So, what I mean, we could go on and on. I'm not even casting any value judgment. Clearly, they need some help, and also clearly they may be facing some criminal stuff some other places. Whatever. The real question is here: what does this have to do with the Flash? And you've been here. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot of people like they should just reshoot the Flash. They need to reshoot the whole thing, or they should just throw it on HBO Max. They just should just not replay, release it. And I'm gonna boycott it if they release it because Ezra Miller this and that. That's you've been hearing all this stuff. And you know what Warner Brothers said? We are still releasing this movie theatrically. We're still gonna do it, right? And so I wanted to talk about that. Lottie, they're sticking to this. Why do you think this is the case? Is this a good idea? And does this have anything to do with whether or not you want to or are going to go see this movie?
I may not support Ezra Miller as a person, but I do support the people who made this movie because I know that there's Ezra Miller is not the only person in this movie. There are quite a few people in this movie, and they should not suffer because of one dude's stupidity. You know what I mean? I just hope that DC grows a pair and just let this person go. Because if there's anybody that deserves to be let go, is him. I mean, well, or is them. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. We've talked about different actors and actresses that should be let go. This man has literally put hands on people multiple times. Come on now. What are you afraid of? Let him go. I mean, I know you can't do anything because the movie's finished already. I understand that. But I'm talking about in the future.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You can count on that. They're not making anything else with Ezra Miller. You can put that down. DC is not making anything else with him. He's done.
Okay.
He's done.
But I definitely will watch this Flash movie because, like I said, even though I don't care for him as a person, I do want to see the work that DC has just not been able to catch a break. You know what I mean? They don't just have one; they have two actors that they got to deal with. Actors and slash actresses they have to deal with. Let's just be honest. Like this is like the worst thing Marvel had to deal with is somebody didn't want to take a shot. That was it. Like, you got people that like for real. You question their like mental makeup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, like I said, I'm not gonna not go and watch Aquaman because of one idiot, and I'm not gonna not watch Flash because of one idiot. Because the movie's not called Ezra Miller. The movie's called The Flash.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
I can understand if people don't want to watch it because they're just so bothered by Ezra Miller. Okay, fine. I
respect that.
I'm not gonna not see this because of Ezra Miller. I don't fault DC for their decision. You spend $200 million on something, and someone else is like, you should just forget it, throw that all away. No, in no world is that the smart thing to do. It's done. They've completed the movie by all accounts that I've heard. They seem to think that they have a hit on their hands. And Ezra Miller being an idiot this year may be completely forgotten or even ignored or not even known about next year by the regular public. And it's really going to be on activists, probably on both sides, trying to torpedo this movement. But if they at least get 200 million, at least they get the cost of putting, making it back, which is really what matters here as far as the business is concerned. Because DC is not, they're not trying to condone they made the movie. They're not condoning anything he's done. The movie isn't about him. Or, I'm sorry, it's not about them, enacting any of these things. That's not what the movie's about. It's about the Flash. Yeah. And people like me are just gonna be like, okay, well, that's something separate from what this is, and we're just gonna go see it. So they're smart, and they're also smart to be like, we're out of the Ezra Miller game. And recast. And if they recast, they're not going to tell you about it beforehand because that'll just, depress the box office for the movie that's coming out. So I think that they're doing the best that they can with what they've got. And
I just call a lot of BS of these people. I'm not saying there are not people that are upset of what he's done. Because I am upset because I do agree that he should pay. There should be some consequences for what he does. Because if he didn't, I'll be extremely pissed off. Like, honestly, I would be. But at the same time, these same people that are like, oh, just put the movie on thing. This is I'm gonna boycott the movie. They'll watch that movie if it's on HBO Max.
Yeah,
they'll watch it then. So cut that nonsense, man. Like I said,
yeah.
Don't punish one person. I mean, don't punish a bunch of people for what one person did. I could, like, let's say there was multiple, like there was a culture of terrible people in this movie, in this movie. Okay, yes, but just one person acting a fool? Come on, man.
Yeah. Yep. Let's not punish all those people. So, anyway, I guess. I hope we don't have to talk about this some more, but we'll see. If more comes out, we will speak about it then. Final bit of news. This has been like I said, a long news segment, but this bit of news is good news. We got a Harley Quinn season 3 trailer.
Oh shit!
And you guys know we have been talking constantly that this is a great show. We even spent a good amount of time last week speculating on what the heck the show is going to be about, based on the titles of the episodes. And so we got to actually see a little bit of what's going on. Ladi, what a trailer. It's crazy.
There's two things I need to point out. The fact that the Quarter Owls is an orgy. And I saw a comment say, I believe it. Comment say the Quarter Owl's orgy. I believe it. I guess
that's gonna be. That's gonna be the real Herogasm. There.
Then
did you see? Wait a minute. Did you see Batman sucking toes?
That's what I was about to say.
Oh my God! This is so much good.
Batman doesn't fuck bats. He fucks feet. And I can just imagine. What's her name took a picture and he shows Harley, and then Harley talks about, oh, so you saw the picture, didn't you, Harley?
Among other things. I mean, like Harley, I love it. We see the band. Oh, James Gunn. Did you see James Gunn in there?
Yeah, I saw him.
And that's James Gunn.
Don't they worship him like a god? Don't they worship him?
But he's in there. He's voicing himself. And the whole bit with Clayface being like, would you sit on my face? I was like, oh my God, James Gunn sitting on his face. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you. Why are we so blessed right now? And I'm being dead serious. Think about the superhero content we are getting right now. In a day where we get Peacemaker. This is going to be a crazy year. Peacemaker, we got The Boys, right? We got Miss Marvel's probably the nicest version of all of it, nicest like thing we're gonna talk about. We get Harley Quinn season 3, and I'm just like, how are we so blessed right now? Because this looks amazing. This season we're gonna get 10 episodes of greatness, and I'm just there for it. And again, if y'all aren't watching this, what are you doing? How can you call yourself a fan of superhero, media, and you're not watching Harley Quinn? Like,
Honestly, Harley Quinn is the best thing. I'll put Harley Quinn. I'll do it. It's over. It's over Peacemaker for me.
how? Ooh, that's You,
I,
them's fighting words, but okay, go ahead.
I loved. Listen, I watched the best of Bane. All rise for me. I absolutely love that show. I mean, I am a sucker for shows that don't try to take themselves too seriously. I'm just a sucker for it. So when I watch Harley Quinn, like everyone's like, "Oh, you should watch Harley Quinn," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And I'm like, "What has taken me so damn long?"
Yeah, and this is coming out like at a perfect time for us and everything. I'm just again, that great trailer, and this show they look like they are not even pausing for a breath. They're going back in, and everybody's a target, and I love it. I cannot wait. So yeah, you guys check out that trailer, and when more information comes out, and of course we are going to definitely review that show when it comes out. So all right, we'll talk about it then. So that's all of our news for the week. Like I said, long news list, but it was all good. So, but maybe we missed something. I don't know how, but maybe we did, or maybe you just had something to say about our thoughts. Get down to the comment section and let us know what you're thinking. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter, and we'll chop it up. All right, so it's time, as we have been for the last few weeks, to get into The Boys. We're going to get deep into The Boys. And no, that's not the way you're thinking about it. We're not Soldier Boy, y'all.
Herogasm was last episode.
This is, how do you top Herogasm? Which ended with one of the most epic superhero fights like possible, right? Great, ridiculously epic superhero fight. How do you top that? Well, they figured it out. This is the penultimate episode. So they're setting up the final episode, right? That's usually a time they sort of take their foot off the gas just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, because they want all of this. They want the big climax for the final episode. But boy, more shit came out in this episode, and I'm like, how are y'all gonna fix this all? Am I wrong, Ladi? How are they gonna fix this? Because so much shit went down in this episode. I felt some things that made me really happy, and some things that made me like, oh fuck, right? I'm trying not to spoil anything. Somebody gets knocked the fuck out, and I was just like, yes, right?
And the reaction afterwards pissed me the fuck off.
Well, we'll get into that. Just know somebody got knocked the fuck out, and good. Kimiko makes a very hard decision, but it makes a ton of sense within the context of the show. Starlight is boss. She's a boss. Let's just call it like this. I think I said it before. She is the hero of this show. She is that. We see everyone has been revealed in one way or another to be shit. She's the hero of the show, straight up. And I'm there for her boss lady stuff. Maeve gets to be a badass chick. Homelander continues to be just like the biggest piece of crap possible. And surprise, Soldier Boy is trash too. We knew this, but
wow, big surprise.
And then Black Noir, we get to see more about him. That's in a fucking crazy way, and we learn more about Butcher. Like this they it's just story on top of story. They keep adding more layers onto this. They are building a gigantic, you know, they're building a gigantic Jenga tower, and they keep adding on to it. And I'm just like, how are y'all going to do this without this shit falling over and just destroying everything? Lottie, your non-spoiler thoughts before we get into spoilers.
This was probably the best non-actiony episode I've seen in like a show in a very long time. And I mean, having me at the edge of my seat with every part. I mean, and you want to know something? Real talk. And I've noticed I'm not uneasy watching Homelander anymore. And they masterfully did that. And you see, you noticed it too. You're not scared of Homelander really anymore because of what happened in the last episode and what is beginning to happen in this episode. When Homelander's on screen, it's more of like you pity him now. You're just a sad dog.
I did not notice that, but you are on the money. I just realized, like, I'm not his threats feel hollow, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
I know he'll do it. When he threatened Maeve, I know he'll do it. But the power of his fear that he gives to people has been kind of taken away. And you know what's funny about that? Guess who are the ones that are taking that power from him? The ladies in the show have revealed him for the weakness he is. That's why all of you motherfuckers out there, which, by the way, people, if you know these people like this, keep an eye on them because they're identifying with the wrong fucking person. All you motherfuckers out there that somehow you're hearing him say some shit that you agree with. This isn't accidental, by the way. When he was at that rally saying all that shit, that QAnon bullshit, that if you found yourself realizing you've heard this shit before, that's the writers talking shit about you. They're pointing you out. That you're the problem. But let's just say you're agreeing with him. Nate, take note of something. As soon as Starlight said, "Fuck it, I'm not scared of you anymore," where did his power go? Right? She's not. Maeve's not afraid of him anymore. Yeah, he got her locked up. She's not afraid. His menace disappeared because I realized something, and you realized that. You just said this. He is menacing to them, but once the fear was gone, his ability to follow through was not there. His power was bullshit. Yes, he could do it, but he won't because he's still afraid. This man is full of fear. He's got all this power. He's got the world in his hand. He's got every fucking thing he wanted, and he's still afraid to pull the trigger because he doesn't really have it in him like he thinks he does. And I'm like, you saying that, I was just like, holy shit, dude, you have drilled down to the central problem that this man has, which is that he's still a fucking little boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. It's like, I bow to you, sir. Your insight is significant. So I'm sorry for interrupting. I was just like, that's huge.
Because that's the first thing that I started noticing as he was making threats. I was like, if I was there, I'll just be like, okay.
Yeah.
You kill me?
They're just like, do it.
Do it.
And I love that he's still fearful enough that he won't just fucking go ham.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry I interrupted you, but you were saying other things.
I was saying there was just a lot that happened in this episode. There was a lot of. I feel like they fleshed out a lot of characters, and I'm gonna just say this one more thing. I'm sorry, Butcher is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. like I come to the conclusion, Butcher, you're an absolute piece of shit.
Yep.
I'm sorry. There's no almost redeeming thing for you at this
The
moment.
only good
And
thing
I
is he's our piece of shit. That's the only
yeah.
difference. And also I will say Huey is not that guy.
Yeah.
He just isn't. He thought he was. He's not.
Yeah. Huey's still a good dude deep down. He might have a little bit of he might have a little bit pieces of toxic masculinity in him, but he's still a good guy deep down. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the two other men who can help him stay on the right direction. He just has two concentrated pieces of shit as his company.
Yep.
One is, like you said, one piece of shit is his piece of shit, but the other piece of shit is just a big. It's not even. It's like, see, Butcher is brown shit. What's his name is diarrhea shit. He's diarrhea shit with flies on top, and that's his company.
Yep.
You know.
And he's a means to an end, but not everything's gonna work out the way they want. I think so. We can't say much more without spoiling. So, if you have not seen the episode, just go watch it and come back to this point in the podcast, and we will get into the spoilers. So, the biggest bit of revelation was, and we should have seen this coming, was that that Homelander is the biological child of Soldier Boy.
So this is my question. This is my question. What the fuck did they think? What? Why do they think he'll be any different? What the? I'm shocked. I'm literally like, Stan Edgar is an idiot. After this, like this episode made me realize that Stan Edgar and Vought are absolute idiots.
Well, keep in mind that Stan Edgar did not, in fact.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Stan Edgar might know now.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't know at the time. But Vought itself are idiot. It's like getting a serial killer and thinking his son is going to become a saint.
Well,
I mean, it's possible. It is possible.
I would like to point out that this is just the nature versus nurture debate, but we already know that it's not genetic to be a piece of crap.
But when you put him through,
because Ryan is a good kid. But Ryan's
exactly.
a good kid because he wasn't treated like Soldier Boy was a piece of shit.
Because he just is a piece of shit.
But if you notice his shittiness, notice what his shittiness is. It's
a lack of male confidence.
Well, he is everything bad about alpha male bullshit, right?
Yeah.
He's everything bad. Because he's powerful and he's the white straight dude that's powerful and whatever.
And he ain't even straight.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants, right? That's more or less his deal. He is mundane in his terribleness, and by mundane I mean he busts people for drugs, but he's doing all sorts of drugs. He's fucking whoever. He's racist towards Black Noir. I mean, all this shit, it's so fucking boring. His evilness is just boring, right?
Yeah.
It's shit that we recognize. He just happened to be superpowered. Homelander's bullshit, his terribleness is because they said, well, we don't want another Soldier Boy because he's trash. Let's see if we can just take away all the stuff that made Soldier Boy. So they raise him in a lab to basically be an inhuman monster. And he's an inhuman monster.
Yeah, and this is where I'm getting at. This comes to the Naruto Homelander. This is like the Naruto versus Gaara debate. You have a child that is born from That's who Homelander is born from the seed of a piece of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It may not be genetic, but it's in them when it comes to certain things. Like for example, alcoholism. Even though we don't know, even though we haven't seen Homelander drink alcohol, we know alcoholism, doing drugs, and certain habits are genetic. Like it is in that's part of the genetics. When you put a person who comes from the seed of a piece of shit in a piece of shit environment, what do you think you're going to get? You're going to get a piece of shit. You didn't think you were like, that's the thing that Vought are idiots for. Like, you created, there was a guy who was a piece of shit. Now you have an inhuman monster. Now they have another person, like you said, the third son. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, God, I hope he never meets his grandfather. Oh my God.
I don't think
You
there's
have
going
to
to be a problem with that, but sure.
Yeah. There you have the third child who is growing up in a good home. He's growing up by people who care and nurture for him. And you see how it's doing for him. And this is why I say it's the Naruto debate, because Naruto could have became a piece of shit because he was raised up in a piece of shit environment. And that's where I just go like, what was Vought thinking? That this was the best way to make the next Soldier Boy, basically, because that's what he is. If you think about it, he is Soldier Boy, just with a cape.
Yeah, and more powerful, but
Yeah,
so that, I mean, I'm not surprised by this revelation. I did like to see, like, we got to see a cartoonish version of what this is related to Black Noir. You know why he ran away and Soldier Boy, and they set him up because everybody fucking hated him, and they hated him for a reason because he was trash.
yeah.
We knew Soldier Boy was trash beforehand. We had suspected it, but actually seeing it play out how awful he was to everybody, in particular, almost killing Nora twice, is, and being racist and shit like that, and just being like generally awful. That they had to team up, and they had to team up to kind of get him, which I think is instructive for how they're going to deal with Homelander. This is the prototype, I suppose you could say, for how to deal with Homelander. But that everyone's going to have to turn on him. But he still almost killed. And so we saw the aftermath of that attack, and it really was that, Soldier Boy almost killed them, before they got him. And so he's justified, but also fuck Soldier Boy for real.
Can I be honest with? I am not shocked at Soldier Boy's actions, because I've seen people like this before. I'm not, like, when I saw the flashback thing, this didn't shock me. I was just like, to be honest with you, it seemed more tamed, because I knew Soldier Boy was a piece of shit. Because this is why some people are like, because I've been talking about this. Like, I've been telling people, they're like, you really think he's that bad? I'm like, I'm telling you guys, I think he's worse than Homelander. And they're like, really? I said, I'm telling you, he's worse than Homelander. I can just see it. I said, this man he's just a terrible person. And this is where we're going to the next thing. Listen, when MM fucking sucker punched that dude, yeah. I was so happy. But then my happiness turned to anger, how the mom and daughter reacted. I'm like, what?
Well,
she's
look.
The mom, come on now. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry. The daughter, my anger could go away because she's still a kid. But the mom, come on now.
Well, I mean, to the mom's credit, she was like, "You took her to what?" And I was like, "Thank you."
And you're shocked? You did. Why is this? You saw this man getting a boner every time he sees Homelander. Was you shocked about this?
But she was mad because she didn't want the daughter to see the violence against a guy who she's clearly going to be living around because they live together, right? So I get that she didn't want her daughter to see all of that. And if I were Marvin, I wouldn't have wanted her to see it either. But fuck Todd. Todd's bitch ass QAnon dick riding ass. I mean, He's like, if you listen to the right news source. No, bitch. You know what? Get off of that. Get off that motherfucking titty. Like you're sitting because I'm listening to Homelander and I'm like, this bitch sounds just like Trump, like without fail, right? And Vault News Network, they sound just like Fox News and OAN. And Todd sounds just like these bitch ass motherfuckers I gotta be listening, seeing on Twitter, spouting bullshit, conspiracy theories and all this stuff. Like, do your research. No, motherfucker, you do your research. You know? And they were like, they're trying to like, oh, she's the human trafficker. She's the villain about Starlight. So I was so happy to see Todd's bitch ass get knocked the fuck out. It's a bit of catharsis because there's a ton of people that are just like him in the real world that need to get knocked the fuck out because they are the problem. They're saying people like us are the problem. No, y'all are the problem. Y'all sitting up here believing dumbass conspiracy theories. You think you're being a free thinker. No, you're saying the same shit that they want. You do what they tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Todd getting knocked the fuck out. I was like, that's life for me right there. I could rewind that a million times. But that also makes me think about Starlight and being a boss. Like I said, this one thing to say some shit on Instagram or whatever and get your followers and to get the news to do that. This is another thing to get a bitch to tell on himself, which seems to be the rule of the day. I've been talking about people telling on themselves. They feel free and anonymous. These motherfuckers start letting you know who they are. And this bitch sat there on Instagram, told the whole world that I'm a piece of shit. I'm threatening lives and all this other shit right there. And she put his ass on blast, and I was like, I jumped up and down. I was like, that's my girl. That's the chick right there. She's the hero.
I just love how he was like, "You're not supposed to record while we're doing this." And just the way he looked at
She's like, bye. She's like, bye. I was like, let's go. Man, I'm telling the actress's name is Erin Moriarty, and I'm telling you, she is killing it this season. I know we've been talking about Anthony Starr, and to be fair, he's the best actor on the show. Right? He's as Homelander. He is. But Erin Moriarty as Starlight, she has been just killing that role. And fearlessness like nobody's business. She looked at him right in the eye. He's like, if you weren't so popular, you'd be dead. And I'm like, man, she's giving you all the fucking rope to hang yourself with. Man, I'm telling you. There's so much more. The whole thing with Maeve. And he's like, I'm saving you. I'm keeping you alive for your eggs. Shit like that. He's just trash. This dude sucks.
Here's the thing. Boy. Homelander, I mean not Homelander, they still think they're helping they're doing this stuff so they can help Soldier Boy. So Soldier Boy can kill Homelander, not knowing that
it's a trap.
And it is no longer about to happen.
Yep.
Soldier Boy is about to rat them out.
Yeah. You got I trust Billy to Butcher to come hard. Because we saw in this episode why he's such a hard ass and everything, why he's such a piece of crap. Like because I knew as soon as he was like, oh, of course I'll tell him all about it. I was like, you ain't about to tell Huey shit, because Huey's a tool to get what you need, what you want.
Yeah, and that's the one that hurts. And here, do you think Huey dies, or do you think he gets turned into a soup? That's the only way I think he can get saved from this. There's only two ways this can end. Huey either dies, or he gets turned into a soup.
I honestly don't think either. We know that the new season is about to start filming. Everybody, as far as I know, is coming back. I don't think he dies. I don't think he becomes a superhero. I do think he may be a little bit off the board for a little bit in the new season, because we know that there's there's a price to be extracted for using the temp fee. Now, how much they intend that to be, I don't know, and I'm not even going to try to speculate. But I don't think Huey dies. I honestly, it's hard to call any of them dying. If any of them die, Frenchie's probably or Marvin are the most likely out of the boys. I don't think we can get rid of Butcher, and I don't think we can get rid of Huey without kind of really taking away something major off of the show. And I think Soldier Boy definitely. I think we definitely get rid of him. I not only do I think we get rid of not only do I think he dies, I think that somehow they are going to end up triggering his thing against his will, and put Homelander on the back burner for a part of the next season. It's just my speculation. I think that that's what's going to happen. So, but we'll see. You know what? I could be dead wrong, and whatever they decide to do is going to be a million times better than what I think. Because I can tell you what, ain't nothing that happened in this season anything that I thought beforehand was going to happen. They completely. The only thing I knew about it was Herogasm. Everything else is left field for me, and I love it. So I don't know. No, not sure what you think is going to happen, but to me that's where it's going. So I don't know. Any last thoughts before we stop?
That's really it.
Yeah, I think this shit, man. It's just getting better and better. I think the season finale is going to blow us away, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see what happens. So, anyway, those are our thoughts on this episode. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. And, of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or @supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And we'll chop it up. Also, while you're down there clicking, why don't you hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family. Help us to grow this channel. We are, of course, you can always hit that notification bell to let you know when we drop new content. We do reviews on this channel, and we're reviewing some of the newest things that are coming out, so check all that stuff out. And, I can't do all this on my own. Ladi helps me out tremendously. So, Ladi, where can they find you on social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. And also, you can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. I upload content constantly, so if you ever get a chance, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, or follow.
Yeah, you guys go and check his channel and his social media out. Show some love. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us. It's the 58th episode of the Supercast. Come back next week, the finale of The Boys, and plenty more news to talk about. So until then, I've been Mode Pupe, your resident Fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.